Hey there folks, Lucas with you of the Balahood Group Real Estate Services here at Coldwell Banker RMR Real Estate, and back with your May housing report here in Durham Region. And like the old saying goes, with April showers bring May flowers, and like those flowers, we saw buyers popping up everywhere all over Durham Region, and I think that's evidenced by a 12% increase in the number of sales compared to April. We're up to 770 sales this past month, and we also saw the same amount of increase, or the same rate of increase, in the number of active listings on the market, 12.1% rise from April, but only a 3% increase in the number of new listings that hit the market, up to 1,982. So that's a positive sign overall. And now for the second consecutive month, we saw an increase in the average sale price. We started at we were back in March, we were at 838,000. We increased in April to 845. Now we're up to 851,000. So compared to February, we were 859,000 as an average sale price, and things started to trail off from there. But you might recall, January and February were very, very slow months in real estate, large part because of that cold weather we had. So good sign overall that we saw an increase in activity, and average prices seem to be slowly climbing. But we should temper that expectation that the market's about to increase exponentially in any way. Months of inventory is actually very consistent with last month at 3.3 months of inventory, very consistent with our year-over-year inventory levels as well. And prices are actually down 6% year over year in comparison, where we averaged 905,000 last May. So certainly a different market that we're dealing with today, but something that I think is consistent with what we've seen in recent months here is that our time on market has been hovering 24 days for the second consecutive month, or 25 days was the average in March, but we're bang on at 100% list to sale price ratio. So really what that means to me is that buyers are not willing to negotiate or offer on a property that they think is overpriced. I don't know if that's necessarily fear of confrontation and offending a seller by offering an under market value by submitting an offer, under their offered price, not under market value. Their perception or opinion of market value is obviously lower than what the sellers might be. So considering that fact, a home's got to be on the market for about 24 days before it's likely to receive an offer at the asking price of the seller. And if a home is overpriced, they're not likely to get one. So they're going to wait you out. A buyer will wait out a seller for a price reduction instead of offering on that home. And that can be frustrating for a seller, certainly. So we need to understand what buyers' behavior is right now. And really, buyers have pulled back some of the leverage that they've had over the last number of years that sellers typically have been accustomed to. And that's interesting because we're at 3.3 months inventory. That suggests to us that we're in a soft seller's market right now. But with that, there's a lot of variety that a buyer has to choose from still, and they're really taking their time to find that right property, and they're not willing to offer on your home if it seems like it's out of alignment from other recent sales in the area. Not a sale from last year, not a sale from 3 months ago. We're looking at current information. And the one overarching theme that I'm hearing, and this is a new trend that's obviously emerging in the world, is the rise of AI and how this the use of AI and other applications are being integrated into our ecosystem that is informing a buyer, better informing a buyer. They're really empowered by information right now. And if they see your property that doesn't align with other current sales that are in similar condition, in similar neighborhoods, similar size, they're not going to pursue it. So it's something that you really need to be mindful of, rather than maybe a historically thought of or used approach was submit our offer and we're happy to submit an offer and we'll negotiate with you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer. But in this sense, those buyers just don't want to pursue that property right now for fear of overpaying. That's certainly something that's out there right now, given the political climate and the economical climate we're seeing across Canada and throughout the world here. So there's a lot going on with that respect that is influencing a buyer's behavior still. But when we're looking at year over year, and trying to look back at how things compare, I did already mention prices are down 6%. New listing inventory is down almost 20%, 19.5 from almost 2,500 listings this time last year that hit the market. Active inventory is down almost 9%, and sales are down 9.5% as well. So activity year over year is down, likely largely due to some of the economic things we're dealing with, as I said. But if you are in the market for a home today, certainly on the buying side, you've got lots of options. You do have some more leverage than you may have previously. And from a selling perspective, you just need to be prepared for, to help your home show its best in the current conditions, because you have more competition to compare to. And that's certainly going to have an influence on whether or not your home does sell. When we look at things like certain indicators around, say, the sale to new listing ratio. So that's a percentage of how many properties that are being listed are actually purchased in a given month. And that percentage is at 38.8 right now. So just shy of, 2 of 5 or 40%. That being, if 5 homes are listed in a particular neighborhood, only 2 of them are going to be purchased. So which side of the ledger do you want to be on there? And certainly an overpriced home is going to help sell one that is more closely priced at market value. So that's the fear, that's the danger of overpricing. You might miss, the buyer that might be qualified to buy your home is going to completely miss it when they're looking because it's overpriced, and talk about those things all day. So I will leave it there for now. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch this video here. If you do have any questions about what's going on in your neighborhood, or are thinking a little bit down the road about a move, or maybe you know someone who's having those same thoughts, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to connect on a one-on-one basis. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful start to your June, and we'll be with you again very soon here. So until then, bye for now.